Well, I guess you answered my question. I was gonna say, have you ever gone to bed angry? But if you
Oh, heck
have
yeah.
gone 12 days without talking to each other, I'm gonna assume the answer to that is yes.
Yes. And then if you don't want to go in the bed, I'm like, oh, good. It's, it's more room for me. Oh, yeah, you're hurting my feelings. But yes, no, we definitely have gone to bed angry. You always read those things. Don't go to bed angry. That's hard
Yes.
because,
Truth is, you angry, and
yeah.
it's just like,
And you can't sometimes solve things just in one day or one type of conversation. It's going to take some time. But as of now, we don't go to bed angry. And we even forgive each other, even if it's not 100%, it's still there, but we know that we need to move on and just, this is a small bump in whatever we're going through. We just need to get through it.
you agree to disagree.
Yeah.
It'll come up later. We'll have another conversation, but we're
Remember
not
that time?
Yeah.
There's 4:10 on a Monday. Yeah, it happens.
So, in 17 years, have you guys ever had to do marriage counseling, or what are your thoughts on marriage counseling?
I don't have a problem with marriage counseling. Glenn, we have asked him before, is it something that he wanted to do? He's not very much for it. I think if I was to ever sit down and say, hey, look, I made us an appointment, he would show up, but it's not something he would do.
I think Ray would be the same about it. I think so.
Okay.
Is that a man thing?
I don't know. I think because the men know that they're wrong. So they don't want someone else confirming.
I'm going to edit that out.
I'm just kidding. No, I think men, and I tell this to Glenn all the time, like, with females, you can talk about your problems to someone else, but men, they really don't do that. They're always like, hey man, I don't think they do it as much as women do. So for us, it's easy.
We have therapy in our friends, and our moms and sisters.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
So you brought up the subject, but you guys have never done it. So when you guys talked about, you talked about how you used to fight, it took you 10 years to get to a better place in being able to communicate effectively when there was conflict.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure in that 10-year period of time, the subject of divorce came up.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you move past that? And now, being where you are now, is divorce off the table?
Oh, I agree. Yes, yeah. Divorce is off the table. Divorce to me is easier. He has a great job, I have a great job, so it's easy as far as financing, just to split it and go our separate ways. But I love him, and he's my best friend, and I would do anything. Like, I would just, when you think about divorce, you can put in your head of what you need to do, but it's like, gosh, like, not having him every day in my life or having that conversation, any type of conversation with him would be terrible. Was it in the past? Yes. There's plenty of times I would call my mom, and I'm like, not plenty, more than a couple. And I'm like, Mom, I'm so sorry, I tried, but I can't do this anymore, And divorce is common, but we do have a lot of great friends around us that are married, and no one has a perfect marriage.
Right.
There's no such thing as a perfect marriage.
No such thing.
So, we're getting to the point our kids are getting older, so in a few years, it'll just be he and I, and we're looking forward to that. Yes.
So getting back to those days before the kids, okay. So we talked about how we use our friends and our moms and siblings as therapy. And so I'm assuming the answer to this question is yes, but when you talk about your relationship, your spouse in particular, and the issues you're having with your spouse, is that something that you do openly, or is it just, you might have, you talk about things but not in depth, you don't give a lot of detail, or is it just like, oh, we're not talking to each other right now, you're getting on my nerves, or is it just all the details, the gory details when you're having an issue?
There are a few people that I can tell in depth, and I would say this, and I would give this advice to anyone: you shouldn't tell your business to everyone, because you don't know who is not always cheering for you. And it's unfortunate, but there are cases like that. I'm very fortunate that my mom is someone who I can call anytime, and she's not that type of person where, she's on my side. There's sometimes I'm upset because I'll call her and she's giving me advice of what I'm doing wrong. I'm like, look, lady, you're my mom. I didn't call you to, get on his side.
Look, lady.
But, she and my dad, they've been married, it'll be 52 years. They started dating at 14, and they've been together all this time. And, they still argue, but you look at them and the way they talk to each other, and the love is just still there. Like, my father loves my mom. You could just see it. He'll do anything for her and vice versa. So she's one person I can definitely go to, and I just have a few friends where I'm open and honest about what's truly going on and asking for their advice. And, because you don't want to hear, oh, girl, you need to leave him. Or if we're actually got over that, then they're looking like, oh, what happened? You just need positive feedback, honest and positive feedback. So you can't really tell everybody everything.
I completely and totally agree.
Yeah.
Like, that was a challenge for me very early in our relationship. I would tell everybody, whoever would listen, about the challenges that Ray and I were having. And I seriously think I know it's impacted, how my family in particular views him. And even though it's been well over 10 years, there's still some harboring concerns there just because of those conversations that I had. And it took a long time for me to recognize that it's really nobody's business what is going on in your relationship. If you can talk to your friends about it, you can talk to your spouse about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So you talk about having friends around and being having positivity. So to you, it's important that you have couple friends.
Yeah, I mean, we have single friends, but as long as the single friends respect your marriage, then there's not a problem with having single friends. But majority of the time when we do go out, it is couples. And that's good, it's like-minded people, everybody has the same goal as far as having a happy, respectful, faithful marriage. And not to say that your single friends don't do that or they want you to, be with somebody else, but it's just better for us, personally.
It's a what's the word? A nurturing environment. Yeah. So let's talk about the kids. You have beautiful children, Cameron and Kennedy.
And they are for sale. Buy one, get one free. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I love my children.
So you mentioned that you guys, you're from New York, and you've moved down here. And moving down here, did you have family here when you came here?
No, we had no family.
So you left your support system.
Yep. When we moved down here, Kennedy was 3 and Cameron was 1.
Oh my! I didn't realize that you've been here that long.
Yeah.
So, and they were so young then. So how did that impact your relationship? Like, how did you manage not having grandma or auntie, or even friends to help?
At that time, it was a lot. I mean, I got to stay at home. So we moved down here. Glenn's like, oh, you don't have to work. You could be a stay-at-home mom. So I was excited. I was like, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. And after 6 months, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I was like, I love him to death. But Glenn was working long hours. So, I don't have any friends out there. So I don't have anybody to go to. And then, talking to 3 and a 1-year-old, there's so much you can do with that. So I started working. And then they went to daycare. We was lucky to find a great daycare. And it just took some time until we found people that we had a young teenage girl that would come and babysit. But it's not like we were able to use it all the time. So when we had a babysitter, it was like very valuable. But it took some time until we got our own family and community that we have.
But you guys still go back up to New York pretty often to make sure the kids have that bond.
Yeah. They are still close with their grandparents and their aunts and uncles and cousins. We try to go at least once or twice a year. And then everybody comes down too, so.
That's good.
Yeah.